praises.
All praises. Hallelujah.
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 We're going to start off with Psalms 85:11.
Bring it
Whoever
out.
gets it, Psalms 85:11, and then Isaiah 1 verse 3 after that.
Psalms 85 verse 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven.
This is what the Yahawashi came into the world to do. He came into the world to give testimony of the truth. So he said truth is going to spring out of the earth, and righteousness is going to rain down from heaven. This is why we come out every Sabbath, and this is to bring out the truth out of the Bible.
Read. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
And see, this is the problem with our people. He said the ox knoweth his owner. Read.
And the ass his master's crib.
And the ass, a dumb ass. He's talking about this dumb animal that doesn't, he says the ass knows his master's crib. Read.
But Israel doth not know.
But our people, they don't know who they are. A lot of our people, they're still in this reprobate mind, stuck in this matrix, in this society, not knowing who they are. This is what's wrong with our people. Read on.
My people doth not consider.
But see, our people, they don't even consider that they were the chosen people of God. Our people, they don't even consider it. We were chosen from the foundation of the world, and our people, they have a problem with being the chosen. This is why we got to come out here to wake them up from this matrix that they're in. Read on.
Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity.
See, the Most High said this is a sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity. See, they want to continue in this mud and this mire instead of coming back to the laws, statutes, and commandments. This is what we come out here to do. Every Sabbath we come out, we're trying to wake God's people up. We're not out here for everybody. We're making that clear. We're out here for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's what we're coming out here for. Read.
A seed of evildoers.
But see, a lot of these people, they want to continue to be a seed of evildoers. This is not what we were put on this earth for. He chose us to be a light in this world, a light to the Gentiles. We're not the Gentiles. We are the people of God. Read on.
Children that are corrupters.
And see, a lot of these children of God, they want to stay corrupted with this society, doing all these pagan days. They want to go and do all this stuff that's contrary to the scriptures. This is what the Most High, this is why he's punishing the world as we speak. Read.
They have forsaken the Lord.
And see, a lot of them, they've forsaken the Most High God. This is what they're doing. They don't realize it. They've transgressed against the Most High God himself. People look at us like, oh, look at those guys out there. Oh, we're just the vessels that's out here. This is the Most High God that everybody is despising. You're not despising no man. You're despising the Most High God who gives us his spirit. Read on.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger.
And see, a lot of people don't realize they're provoking the Most High to anger. This is why he's taking vengeance on this place. This is why the pestilences are here. This is why you're seeing the earthquakes. You're seeing the fires. This is the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because this is the only God. There is no other God. Read.
They are gone away backwards.
And see, a lot of people, they're going backwards and not forward. The prophet Jeremiah, he got into this. He says they want to continue going backwards and not forward. Read on.
Why should ye be stricken anymore?
And a lot of them, they want to continue in this mud, in the mire, and then wonder why they're getting all this affliction. They're wondering why they're going through this. Wondering why our people are shot down in the streets. They're wondering why they're the last hired and the first fired. They're wondering why they're being oppressed in this society. God has all the answers right here in the scriptures. But a lot of people don't want to hear it. Read on.
Ye will revolt more and more.
And they just want to keep revolting against the Most High God. They want to go to Zechariah 7 and 11. Go there real quick. Let's see what Zechariah said about it. Because see, a lot of people, they hear these words, and then they go in one ear, and they go out the other. Got it? They refuse to hearken.
Zechariah 7 verse 11. But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stuffed their ears that they should not hear.
And this is what they do. They refuse to hearken. They don't want to listen. That's what hearken means, to listen. A lot of people, they hear it, and it's just like a very lovely song to them. This is what it is. They hear it, and it sounds real sweet to them, but they don't want to be doers of it. Read on.
Yeah, they made their hearts as an adamant stone.
And see, they're hard-headed. That's what our parents used to say when we were growing up. Oh, yeah, that hard head makes us soft behind. This is what they always told us when we were growing up. But see, they still want to be hard-headed and stiff-necked. Read.
Lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts has said in its spirit by the former prophets.
Because it's all this word, the Most High was speaking in the spirit by all the former prophets. From Moses all the way through even the Apocrypha. This is the Most High speaking through all those prophets. And we'll get that. Whoever, Psalms 40 verse 7. Let's see. We're gonna bring it out. We're going to bring these scriptures out. Because this was Yahawashi speaking from Genesis all the way through. And there is no new thing under the sun that hasn't already been done.
Psalms 40:7. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book.
See, the Most High says, I come in the volume of the book. Read.
It is written of me, I delight to do thy will, O my God. Yeah, thy law is within my heart.
And see, that's one thing about Yahawashi. He delighted to do God's will. He said, I delight to do thy will, O my God. He said, yeah, thy laws are within my heart. They have to be in our mind. We have to think about these scriptures, and we have to put them in our spirit, and we have to apply them every day of our life. We have to do these things that he said in the Bible. This is what he's saying. Go ahead, Yakanan. Go back to where you were.
Isaiah 1:4. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity.
And see, they want to continue laden with iniquity. This is what it is. They don't want to come back. They don't want to come back to who they are. Here, get Lamentations 4 while he's reading that. Go ahead.
Salakia. Verse 5. Why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick.
And he said the whole head is sick. This is what he's saying. The whole head is sick. This is why Christ said, the well, they have no need of a physician, but the sick do. And all he's talking about is they're sick because they're in sin. They have to come back to who they are, get out of this sin. This is what he's saying, why people are sick. They tell people, oh, I'm sick, I have to go to the doctor. All that is you're under the weather. You're going through ailments. You're having problems in your body. That's not what Christ calls sick. Being sick is being in sin. That's what sick is. Read.
And the whole heart faint.
And the whole heart is faint because they don't want to retain his laws, statutes, and commandments in their mind. Because that's what the heart is, the mind. They don't want to retain them in the mind. Read on. Oh, go to Lamentations 4, the precious sons. But this is how he feels about his people. This is how God feels about his people. Read.
Lamentations 4 verse 2. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold.
He said the precious sons and daughters of Zion, he said we're comparable to fine gold.
That's right.
Even though everybody hates us and oppresses us, this is how the Most High God feels about us. Read.
How are they esteemed?
He says, how are we esteemed? Read.
As earthen pitchers.
He says we're like earthen pitchers. He says we're like a sight to see. This is what the Most High is saying. He said, you guys, all these people that have a problem with us, well, he doesn't have a problem with us. He chose us from the foundation of the world. Read.
The work of the hands of the potter.
Because we're the work of the hands of the potter. This is what people don't understand. Somebody get Romans 13:11. A lot of people don't understand what he did from the foundation. He did this. We were the ones he chose and predestined from the foundation of the world.
Romans 13:11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
He said, this is Apostle Paul. He said it is high time for us to awake out of sleep. He says we got to wake out of this slumber. That's what Solomon was saying in Proverbs. A little sleep and a little slumber and a little laying down of the hands to sleep. He wants you to wake up out of this sleep. This is what the Most High wants. All of his people to wake up and come back to who they are.
That's right.
For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed.
Because our salvation is nearer than when we first believed. Because we are in the perilous times. This place, he could crack that sky at any time. The Most High is doing stuff up in the spiritual realm where we don't see it. This is why people don't want to do anything and why they don't believe, because they don't see him. But he's up there in the third heaven where you don't see him, but he's up there working. Read. Is that it?
The night is far spent. The day is at hand.
He said the night is far spent and the day is at hand. The day of the Lord is at hand. Read.
Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light.
So he wants you to get rid of all that sin. If you're in any sin, like Paul was saying in Hebrews, We have to rid ourselves of every weight and sin that so easily ensnares us, and let us run the race with endurance, looking unto HAMASIACH, which is the author and finisher of our faith. We have to look to him, because this place is going to get you destroyed, going with all this stuff they're doing in this society, because everything they're doing is contrary to the scriptures.
That's right.
Go ahead, Isaiah.
Zechariah 7 verse 13. Therefore it is come to pass that as he cried, and they would not hear, so they cried, and I would not hear.
And this is why he's not going to hear it. You see, when people are in sin, he's not going to hear it.
That's
the
right.
brother brought it out earlier. He said, now we know that God does not listen to sinners, but if any man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will, him he heareth. But if you're in that sin, he's not answering none of those prayers. He's not even, he'll hear it, but he does. See, people don't understand when Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one goes to the Father except through me. So every time a prayer goes up, it goes to him. And if you're not doing right, he sits there on the throne. He's seated on the right hand of God, and it goes right to him. And then if you're not doing right, he'll take it to the Father. Well, are they being obedient? No, they're not doing what you say. Oh, okay, they're not getting nothing. This is how it goes. The petition goes up, but if you're doing wickedness, he's not answering none of it. He's not answering none of it. You have to be walking in obedience to get your prayers answered. Read on.
Saith the Lord of hosts, but I scattered them with a whirlwind.
And this is why we got scattered with a whirlwind. This is why we were scattered in all these countries. We were scattered because our people did all this idolatry. We transgressed against the Most High God. We didn't want to keep the laws. This goes back to our forefathers. They did this, but our people are still doing this today. Read on.
Among all nations whom they knew not.
And this is why we're amongst all these nations right now. We're scattered in everybody's country because of this. And if our people come back, this is the answer for us to get the kingdom.
Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through nor returned, for they laid the pleasant land desolate.
And see, this is why our home. This is getting into our homeland being destroyed. When they destroyed the temple, they went over there, but this was prophecy saying this was going to happen to our people. And then we were scattered. But Christ told us to flee to the mountains. And this is how we got into Africa, because we fled west into the mountains. And this is why they call us African Americans. See, we know the history. This is it's all in the scriptures. But a lot of people just don't want to read. This is what the problem is. Isaiah 34:16, whoever gets it. Isaiah 34:16. And this is what people have to do. In order to get this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, these are the things you have to do.
Isaiah chapter 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
He said we have to seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
That's right.
This is the book of the Lord, the Holy Scriptures. He wants us to seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. Read on.
No one of these shall fail.
And none of these chapters are going to fail us. None of them are failing us. Everything he told us in here is coming to pass. All these prophecies, they're going to be fulfilled whether people like it or not. Read.
None shall want her mate.
And you can't duplicate the Bible. This is a one-of-a-kind book. This is a living book. You can't duplicate this book. This is the problem. This is the one and only. Read on.
For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them.
Because his mouth has commanded all this, and his spirit has gathered them all. And a lot of people say, well, who put this Bible together? Let's go to Exodus 31. You know the one that's written by the finger of God. Let's see, because a lot of people say, who put the Bible together? It's in the Bible. All the answers are in here. We're going to bring them out too.
Exodus 31:18. And he gave unto Moses when he had made an end of communing with him.
This was Moses up on Mount Sinai and Horeb. This is when he got all the law, statutes, and commandments. Read.
Upon Mount Sinai, 2 tables of testimony.
He gave him 2 tables of testimony. Read.
Tables of stone written with the finger of God.
And this was written with the finger of God. See, a lot of people don't realize when they want to go against this, they're playing with the Most High God himself. They're not playing with us. They can hate us all they want. And we don't care about the hatred. We don't care about the haughty looks. We don't care about the impudent eyes. We don't care about none of that. Because we're going to do God's will. That's why we come out here, just to do God's will. Read on. Go to, now we're going to get into some wrath of the Most High. Isaiah 47. Let's go there. Isaiah 47. Start with verse 1. Whoever gets it.
Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Now he's talking about all these. This is Mystery Babylon. America's Mystery Babylon. It's also Sodom and Gomorrah. It's a spiritually Sodom and Egypt, because you guys do all the same customs that they were doing. Read.
Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
Because you guys right now, you may be in power right now, but the Most High God is getting ready. It's getting ready to be a shift of power. This is why China is loading up their missiles. This is why Iran is loading up their missiles. Why North Korea is loading them up. This is why. And you guys are going to get that judgment for touching the apple of God's eyes. Read.
For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Because you guys aren't going to be called tender and delicate no more. America's not going to win this fight. Yes. Russia's going to, they're getting in on this too. They're going to shoot their missiles over here. You guys are going to get that judgment. Read.
Take the millstones and grind mill.
Now he said, take the millstone and grind mill. You better do some work. You better do some work, but it's not, this time it's not going to work out for you. Read.
Uncover thy locks. Make bare the leg.
Because now everybody knows about this wicked place. Everybody knows. Your skirt has been lifted up over here. This place and all the other nations that jumped in on the bandwagon with this wicked place. Read.
Uncover the thigh. Pass over the river.
Yeah, see, the Most High, in other words, he's took a good look. And he knows everything, because his eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. And he's seen everything that's been going on. He's been watching this from the foundation of the world. Read.
Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
And now all this place's wickedness has been uncovered. And all these other nations, they know about you. All these other nations know about this wicked place with their unrighteous decrees, their ill dealings, all that stuff they do in the back boardrooms. He knows all about it. Read.
Yea, thy shame shall be seen.
And now this place's shame is being seen. Everybody knows about this wicked place. Your shame is being seen now. Read.
I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
And he's going to take vengeance. This is why he said it in the book of Hebrews. He said, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I'll repay. It's just he has a day appointed for all his adversaries. And he's going to take care of them all. Read.
As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name.
As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name. We're talking about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The one and only. The only God. There is no other God. Read.
The Holy One of Israel.
And this is the Holy One of Israel. This is who we're waiting on to bring us out of this captivity. It's just a matter of time. We just have to wait this out and be anxious for nothing, but with everything, with prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving. We have to let our requests be known unto God. Read.
Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness.
And see, now he's telling all these other wicked people, sit back and just sit down on the ground, because you guys aren't the King of Kings. He's saying something here. Read.
O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms.
And see, he knows. He declares the end from the beginning. They thought they were bigger than the Most High. They got too puffed up with pride. But now he's putting them in their place in this passage. Read.
I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance.
Now he's saying, I was the one that put my people in that position. You didn't do this. The Most High is saying, I put them underneath you guys. You guys think you did something to them, but I'm the one that did this to them. Read.
And given them into thine hand.
And he's the one that put us in the hands of all these adversaries, all these enemies. He's saying it himself. Read.
Thou didst shew them no mercy.
And they didn't show us no mercy here. They didn't show us no mercy. They've been wicked to us like they do every day. They have this perpetual hatred that's never going to end until he smashes them. Read.
Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
And he's going back to all of our forefathers, how they were lynching them on the trees, burning them at the stakes, feeding our babies to alligators. He's going back to different times, dispensations of time. This is what he's going through in this. Read.
And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever.
And see, this place thought they were going to continue ruling forever. But they're at the end. They're at the end of their rulership, and they know what it is. They know it's getting ready. They're getting ready to get what's coming to them. They know it's coming. Read.
So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart.
And they never took it to heart. They never thought on these things. They didn't think how the end was going to be for all this oppression. They didn't think what the end was going to be for all the murder that they've been doing to our people. They didn't think what the end was going to be with all their unrighteous decrees. Read.
Neither didst remember the latter end of it.
And they didn't think of the latter end because they think earthy. They think of all the carnal things. They're earthy. All they think about is all these carnal things that they can have. All this material stuff that he's getting ready to smash. This is all they think about, is all the carnal things. But Christ said, he says you should, where your treasures are, that's where your heart is also. And this is all where their treasures is. All this is their treasures. They don't care about the Most High God. They never have. All they do is they think about carnal things. They've never cared about the Most High God. That's why he's getting ready to smash this place, America. Read.
Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasure.
Because they're given into all these pleasures. They like to go bungee jump. They like to go hang gliding. They like to go jump out of airplanes. They like to go jet skiing. They like to go climbing up on mountains. They like to do all this crazy stuff that God said not to do. Then they go out in the ocean, get bit by a shark, then wonder why they got bit. God put that's their domain. That's their habitation. That's where he put the fish and the whales and the sharks. But no, they want to go out there, then wonder why they're getting bit. Read.
That dwellest carelessly.
And they dwell carelessly. They don't care about nothing but pleasures. And this is what the Most High is talking about in this passage. Read.
That sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
And this is what they'll say in their heart. They say they're God. But the Most High God has got everybody's number. This is what they say in their mind. Oh, we're God. This is why we could do all this stuff we're doing. Read.
I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
But they think they're not going to sit as a widow, and think they're not going to have the loss of children. But listen to what the Most High said that's coming to America. Read.
But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood.
He said this is coming to you in one day. He said the loss of children and widowhood. You're not going to be riding on these scooters much longer. You're not going to be out here jogging and walking these dogs, doing all that garbage, all this stuff the Most High hates. You're not going to be doing this much longer. Read.
They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries.
Because the Most High, he remembers the days of old. Like he said through Moses, he's going to remember the days of old. And he's going to consider the years of many generations. He said, ask thy fathers, and they shall tell thee. Ask thy elders, and they will show thee. See, he's not going to forget nothing that was done to us. Read.
And for the great abundance of thine enchantment.
And all these sorceries, all this witchcraft, all this stuff they putting on the TV, the music, got our people all messed up with that, all that gangster rap music, all this stuff, got our kids doing all this stuff. This is all on them, because they're the ones controlling these industries. Read.
For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness.
And they've trusted in all this wickedness. But the Most High God, he never wanted us to do any of this. Read.
Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it has perverted thee.
And they thought that the Most High didn't see any of this. This is what they thought. But the Most High's eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. This is what they forgot. Read.
And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
And this is what they say in their heart, that there am and none beside me. But this is what the Most High has to say about this. Read.
Therefore shall evil come upon thee.
He said all the evil is coming upon all of you. You people are getting ready to get your judgment. You're not escaping for oppressing God's people and oppressing us every single day with your perpetual hatred, all this killing of our people. God's been watching this. His eyes has been on every place. Read.
Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth.
And you're not going to know when he does this. This is why he said he's coming like a thief in the night. Nobody's going to know when he does this. You're not going to know when he does all this. Read.
And mischief shall fall upon thee.
And all this mischief that you guys have pushed on us, is getting ready to fall upon you. This is called sowing and reaping. Like Apostle Paul said in Galatians, he said, be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. You're going to reap everything you sowed here. Read.
Thou shalt not be able to put it off.
And you're not going to be able to stop the Most High God, because he's the one that created the heavens and the earth. You're not going to stop him. Read.
And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly.
And you're not going to know when this desolation is coming. That's why he said, be ready in season and out of season. This is why he told us to do this. Be ready in season and out of season. We have to be ready so that we don't have to look upon him with shame. We don't want to have to look upon the Lord in shame. Read.
Desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
And see, they're not going to know when this is coming. They're just going to keep on doing all this stuff they're doing, and then all of a sudden they're going to get hit. He's going to catch them all off guard. Read.
Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries.
Because of all this sorceries and all this witchcraft, all this stuff that the Most High hates. Read.
Wherein thou hast labored from thy youth.
And they've been doing this from their youth. This goes back to Isaac and Rebekah when they had Esau and Jacob. Now he's going back to when Esau was born. Since his youth, he's been doing all this wickedness from his youth. Read.
If so be thou shalt be able to profit.
But see, they're not going to be able to profit. This is why Christ said, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and then loses his soul? They've gained the whole world, but they don't have nothing coming from the Most High God. That's the problem. They'll have nothing coming from him. Read.
If so be thou mayest prevail.
And they're not going to prevail. They're not going to win this one. Not against the one that created the heavens and the earth. They're not going to prevail. Is that it?
13.
Go ahead.
Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels.
And see, they've been wearied with all of these counsels, all this stuff they've done. They've done so much stuff that the Most High God is tired of it. Read.
Let now the astrologers and stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
And this is talking about all the people getting into stargazing, all these people with the telescopes, all the people into doing the zodiac, all the zodiac sign, all this stuff. He's getting into all of this. Read.
Behold, they shall be as stubble.
He said this place is going to be as stubble, because this place is going to burn by those ICBM missiles. Read.
The fire shall burn them.
And that fire is going to burn them. Read.
They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame.
And they're not going to be able to be delivered from the power of the flame, saith the Most High God. And with that, I'm going to yield my time.
All praises.